I'm here to shatter the silence. Diddy isn't just a monster. He's an entire machine. And I've witnessed it all.
Breaking news from Manhattan. Actor and human rights advocate George Clooney made a stunning appearance as a witness on day 16 of the federal trial of Shawn Diddy Combs. Speaking publicly for the first time, Clooney delivered explosive testimony tied to grave allegations against the music mogul, with details said to have the potential to shift the entire course of the case.
People keep asking, why didn't George speak out sooner? Let me tell you why, because he had the tapes. Because he had someone inside the Because if George uttered even one wrong word, someone would vanish. I've seen it happen to 3 of my friends already. George survived because he mastered the art of silence.
9 whispered words. One marble-floored courtroom in Lower Manhattan. A hip-hop titan whose catalog once ruled every champagne-drenched after-party now stares down a sentence no platinum plaque can drown out. But the loudest shockwave of this case isn't even in the evidence lockbox, yet. Because somewhere beyond the clatter of reporters and the click of court stenotypes, a rumor keeps pulsing through the internet's veins that George Clooney, Hollywood's silver-haired conscience, sat in that very witness chair clutching tapes so damning they could slam Shawn Diddy Combs behind steel for life. Everyone's asking the same breathless question: are we witnessing justice unfold, or just another viral illusion that feeds on fear, fame, and the algorithm's endless appetite? Lean in. Decide for yourself. Week 5. Judge Arun Subramanian's chamber is so packed, even the oak-paneled walls feel like they're leaning closer to catch every syllable. Prosecutors have etched 3 lethal charges into the jury's subconscious: racketeering, sex trafficking, and interstate pimping, each one strong enough alone to snatch away a lifetime. They say Diddy orchestrated a hidden network that ferried women across state lines, laundered hush money through shell companies, and weaponized terror as a management style. He pleads not guilty, branding it all a smear campaign from disgruntled ex-lovers and opportunistic hang-ons. But if the jury buys even half the government's ledger, Combs could trade penthouse parties for a concrete echo chamber until the day the music finally stops. The evidence feels like a grim mixtape: encrypted, iCloud snapshots of bruises dated to Hamptons weekends, travel receipts that map private jets to white parties where phone cameras were surrendered at the door, and one shaky hotel room clip in which a woman's voice pleads, "Not again, Shawn." The defense counters with frantic energy, fabricated melodrama, deepfake audio, misidentified timestamps. They've already lodged 3 mistrial motions, the latest accusing prosecutors of fostering a carnival atmosphere. Judge Subramanian hasn't ruled on the motion yet, but whispers in the hallway say he's out of patience. Meanwhile, beyond the mahogany doors, more than 70 civil plaintiffs wait like ghosts in the corridor, clutching the hope that a criminal conviction will turbocharge their own lawsuits. If the mistrial sticks, they fear they'll be left with nothing but headlines and therapy bills. And just when you think the temperature can't rise higher, a single late-night post detonates on Truth Social. Former President Trump, never one to shy from lightning rods, writes he would consider a full pardon if the justice system goes dirty. Critics call it political nitroglycerin. One pen stroke could spring Combs but torch whatever remains of law and order branding on the campaign trail. The jury is ordered to avoid media, yet even courthouse walls leak gossip. Everyone's pulse quickens for tomorrow's ruling, but the most explosive plot twist is brewing far from the judge's desk. Because outside, on smartphone screens, a different trial already played out, complete with Hollywood royalty and secret underground layers. And it all started with one viral thumbnail. Scroll TikTok or YouTube and a glossy banner screams, "George Clooney testifies, Day 17, shocker." 500,000 views in 48 hours. AI-generated sketches of Clooney gripping the witness rail. The narrator's voice pitched low for drama. The video claims the actor exposed masked billionaires, blindfolded nuggets, and a ledger signed in blood. There's talk of an amusement park tunnel, sub-basement ritual rooms, and a list of names that could topple half of Capitol Hill. Gripping? Absolutely. Factual? Not even in the ballpark. Mainstream fact-checkers sprinted out rebuttals. Clooney never set foot inside Judge Subramanian's court, his name appears nowhere on the witness docket, and no credentialed reporter saw a speck of salt and pepper hair within 3 city blocks of the Moynihan courthouse. But by the time retractions crawled onto news wires, millions had already inhaled the fiction, stitched reaction videos, and sworn that the mainstream is lying to cover for elites. 3 storytelling cheat codes made the myth sticky as honey. Surprise. Clooney, the industry's moral compass, flipping the script against hip-hop royalty. Fear. Alleged tapes that could vaporize reputations from Hollywood to Washington. FOMO. A Day 17 leak implies you're late to the party unless you click right now. When the perfect whistleblower is also Batman's on-screen heir and Amal Clooney's husband, who wouldn't peek? But why Clooney in particular? To answer that, you have to understand the armor he wears in the public imagination. Picture the resume. Oscar winner, co-founder of Satellite Sentinel, the project that once tracked war criminals in Sudan from orbit. Coffee brand billionaire, a man who hosts Obama on his Como veranda and then pens op-eds urging Joe Biden to exit the 2024 race for the soul of democracy. Add the marriage to Amal, human rights barrister who faces down tyrants at The Hague, and you have an image that seems untouchable. In short, Clooney is the world's easiest casting choice for noble insider who finally speaks. If he's on camera accusing Diddy of running a dungeon beneath Disneyland, the story smells legitimate, no matter how impossible it sounds. Fans subconsciously think, if Clooney risked it all, we're dealing with the mother of all scandals. The rumor also taps an even older archetype, the Hollywood savior piercing rap's dark underbelly. It's a slick, racially fraught narrative that social media drinks up. Silver Knight versus Black Mogul villain. The algorithm doesn't debate nuance, it simply sees spikes in watch time. But to understand how fantasy hijacked the feed, you need a glimpse inside the very real freak-off testimony. Cassie Ventura's civil filing landed first. She alleged that Diddy hosted invitation-only soirees where women surrendered phones, signed NDAs, and were plied with designer pharmaceuticals until lines between pleasure, coercion, and terror dissolved. The criminal prosecutors later echoed that term, freak-off, in their own filings. Another witness, shielded by the alias Mia, painted matching scenes. Penthouse apartments turned into labyrinths of voile curtains, ambient loops, and code phrases like 7-star guests only. She claimed some attendees donned masks and robes for kink and anonymity, while others filmed everything, insurance in case anyone squealed. Defense lawyers scoff, arguing each accuser was a consenting adult who now wants hush money after the music mogul's fortunes spiked. But 3 digital forensics reports show encrypted signal chats referencing shipments of ECST and fentanyl disguised as high-octane party favors. One chat, coyly named Garden Service, attached a spreadsheet of pseudonyms and flight itineraries arriving hours before a Turks and Caicos weekend. Those receipts, combined with audio of a man who sounds like Diddy ordering someone to tighten the blindfold she likes mystery, don't prove a secret cult, but they sow fertile soil for darker legends. When prosecutors lock away the grimmest exhibits to spare jury sensibilities, rumor merchants online fill the vacuum with any spectacle that drives engagement. And if the question is, which sells faster, a PDF of wire transfers or a story about subterranean ceremonies? The algorithm's verdict is already in. Past midnight, in a fluorescent-lit government evidence room, there's nothing glamorous about the hard drives boxed in anti-static sleeves. 11 terabytes seized from Diddy's home studios, yet to be unspooled in open court. Prosecutors tease that forensic analysts found 36 deleted videos, 127,000 iMessage fragments, and at least 7 Bitcoin wallet keys. What's actually on them? We don't know. Judge Subramanian placed everything under preliminary seal until chain of custody challenges resolve. What is public are the bank wires, $100,000 labeled consulting fee to an event planner 3 days before a Malibu mansion bash, $65,000 to a travel concierge under event support 6 hours after an LA music video rap party. One ledger shows Combs Global LLC paying $14,400 for wellness coaching. The coach later turns out to be a former dancer who alleges she was trafficked to high rollers. The numbers sketch a pattern prosecutors call groom pay silence. Defense calls it philanthropy. The jury will decide. But so far, no Clooney tapes, no stone pedestals signed in blood. Court moves on affidavits, not thumbnails. Still, the Void between hard fact and sealed mystery is perfect fuel for the misinformation economy. Here's a blueprint any clout chaser could follow. Harvest real-time drama. Court adjourns at 4 p.m. Reporters tweet summaries by 4:15. Inject a cinematic twist. Swap Jane Doe cross-examined for Hollywood siren breaks down, reveals child trafficking ring. Drop algorithmic keywords. Add exposed, ritual, Illuminati, elite. Slap on a crying emoji thumbnail. Upload across 5 platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram Reels, Facebook Watch, X. Watch CPM pennies snowball. 10. Clips a week, each hitting even 100K views, soon stacks real money, plus merch, Patreon, and Cameo shoutouts. By the time mainstream outlets debunk, the grifter is already 2 rumors ahead, monetizing tomorrow's shock before yesterday's lie is cold. Studies show over half of high-performing TikToks on breaking legal cases contain verifiably false claims. Misinformation isn't a glitch, it's the business model, and defense lawyers eat it up. Motion number 3 for mistrial quotes 3 viral clips as proof the case is irretrievably poisoned. Prosecutors counter that free speech cannot sabotage due process, yet they admit jury contamination is now a constant chess match. One errant notification could upend months of deliberation. With this storm swirling, imagine what would happen if prosecutors do unlock footage resembling the rumors. Jury minds primed by fabrication might amplify the shock tenfold. The line between evidence and urban legend grows razor thin. All eyes pivot to Monday, 9 a.m. If Judge Subramanian torpedoes the mistrial motion, prosecutors will finally unveil a curated slice of the seized digital trove, rumored signal groups titled FO Queen, Level 7, and DJG Money. Defense counsel says context will absolve Combs. Edgy role-play chat, nothing more. Prosecutors insist it proves logistical planning for interstate trafficking. Court observers expect at least one witness from Homeland Security's cybercrimes team to walk jurors through metadata, timestamps, IP hops, deleted file resurrection. Simultaneously, DC lobbyists circulate white paper dossiers outlining the political capital cost of a presidential commutation. One strategist calculates that any pardon could slice 5% off suburban female approval, fatal in a razor-edge election year. Yet text threads show fundraisers still testing donor appetite for a justice system overreach narrative. In modern politics, no controversy is off limits if it buys airtime. Behind the spotlight, quiet subpoenas target a West Hollywood film studio accountant accused of laundering hush payouts as equipment rentals. There's chatter of a sealed indictment ready to pounce the moment the criminal trial wraps. Lose or win, Combs might face new charges before his limo even leaves the courthouse. So here we stand, one man's empire built on beats and bravado, now under the microscope of federal law. One viral rumor that cast Hollywood's noblest knight as the secret witness who would topple it all. And an audience, you, caught between courtroom reality and algorithmic spectacle. Is the industry's silence shielding a monster? Or could the real nightmare be our own hunger for shock? So intense we'll believe anything that comes packaged in a glossy thumbnail? Keep your wits. Facts crawl, myths sprint, and whichever one you reward with a click decides which version of history echoes loudest. The next reveal could drop in an evidence bag or on a late-night live stream. Until then, stay curious, question everything, and watch this space. Because when the hard drives pop open and the encrypted chats unspool, every headline you've just heard might flip upside down.